As part of estate planning, should you do outright gifting? By that I mean gifting of your assets during your lifetime. Well, the answer, like most in estate planning, is it depends. It depends on what your circumstances are, what your level of assets is. Let me give you some examples. Let's say you are doing your own estate planning and you want to make sure your son gets your house. So to avoid probate, what you do is you transfer your house to him via a quitclaim deed while you're alive, and son says, don't worry, Mom, you can keep living in that house. Then what happens? Well, you can imagine all sorts of things can happen. Your son gets in a car accident and he causes some serious injuries to another. House is in his name. He's going to get sued. The plaintiff in that other lawsuit may well get your house. It's not in your name anymore. You gave it to your son. So all the risks of loss exist because you gave your house to your son during your lifetime. This is what estate planning is all about, is the what ifs, the protections. Let's say that doesn't happen at all. Your son had great liability insurance or didn't cause an accident, but you gave your house to your son, and then you can no longer live in the house and he wants to sell the house and he's not lived there. You have a capital gains tax issue when the house gets sold. You might have bought the house for $100,000 and now it was worth $500,000 and it had to be sold. Well, guess what? You're not the owner. He never lived in it. There is a $400,000 capital gains on which a tax of 15% or more will be imposed. That's $60,000 because you didn't want to do good estate planning and go see a lawyer who would have said, no, don't give your house to your son for liability reasons, for capital gains tax reasons, and for a multitude of other reasons. That's one example why you should not give away your assets or your house to your son during your lifetime. What's some other reasons not to give away your house, your assets? Maybe you are going to need long-term care. You've probably heard that Medicaid has a 5-year look back. What that means is if you gave away any assets during that time frame before you needed long-term care that Medicaid would otherwise pay for on your behalf, you're not going to get Medicaid. Why? Because you gave away assets. State says if you give away assets, you obviously don't need our help paying for your care. So you're in a catch-22 position there. So Medicaid is one reason not to give away your assets. And another thing, and this is where an elder law attorney really comes in, is that a house is an exempt resource. What that means is your house doesn't interfere with your eligibility for Medicaid. So giving away the house was a terrible idea. Having said that, do we as elder law attorneys sometimes transfer assets during lifetime? Absolutely, but it's a part of a Medicaid asset preservation strategy. It's not because somebody just says, oh, I think it's a good idea. My neighbor told me, somebody told me it's a good idea. Don't do it unless an elder law attorney confirms in writing that giving away assets is a really good idea. Should you give away assets because it's good for tax planning? Yes. That's one reason why you might want to give away assets. Let's say you are a single person, you live in the state of Washington, and you have a $3 million estate. Well, Washington imposes an estate tax if your estate is over $2.193 million. Odd number, I know. But in that situation, you might want to give away about $1 million, just under that, so that there's no estate tax paid. What assets should you give away? You should give away assets that don't have a low basis, assets such as money in the bank. You can give that away. There's no gift tax imposed by Washington for giving away money. So if you have $3 million and you want your 2 kids to get your assets, consider giving away that extra $1 million that the state says you can't give away free if you die, but you can give it away free if you're alive. Each give them $500,000 to bring your estate below the $2.193 million amount. So there are very good reasons to give away assets as well. Now, how are you supposed to keep all of this in your head and remember everything I said? You're not. See an estate planning and elder law attorney.